Hi, this is Bishop Mendez, and we are coming to you from Los Angeles, California. And today we have our very special guest, Ms. Sharon Jimenez, and she's been very active in the Christian community for many years, and she's been involved with media and also with politics. I recently connected with her. I said recently, about a year or so.
2023.
2023. Oh, wow.
Hispanic Heritage Month.
Hispanic Heritage Month. When
but we actually know each other from before that.
From before that.
That's when we really got
closer,
moving again.
Yes, and working together. I know that we did a prayer breakfast for candidate Caruso as well.
Yes, and that was before Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes, it was. And you've been busy, huh?
Busy, yeah. Never stops, right?
Never stops.
Well, as you know, we did an awful lot to bring about this new administration in Washington, which, whether you're a fan of President Donald Trump or not, the reason that ticket won is because Trump reached across the aisle and he brought in Democrats and independents, well-known Democrats. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who I work for as LA County Coordinator, he brought in Kennedy. He asked Kennedy to embrace the ticket. Kennedy's family, both his father and his uncle were martyred. They both died for America, if you will. They were both assassinated. And here comes Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who wants to run for president. And President Trump says, come be part of my administration. Be part of my leadership. And he reached out to Tulsi Gabbard, and also Democrat, Hindu, Hawaii. It was unbeatable. The Democrats didn't do that. They didn't reach across to anybody outside of their own little junta.
Well, they think they're the royal family of the United States, and they look at voters like Latino voters that we are supposed to vote for the Democratic Party, and I know that Mr. Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black, and so those are special statements when people think that they're entitled to the Latino vote, to the black vote, or any other minority,
or the Asian vote,
or the Asian,
or the LGBTQ, whatever, any special interest groups. Everybody's a human. Everyone's a person, and we have our reasons for wanting to support someone. And for any party to think that we have to be loyal to them when we know they're taking money right and left from people we don't even know. We have no idea where they're getting all this money from. Are they selling the country? I didn't see a for sale sign, but maybe it's up. Maybe it's out there in cyberspace. It says America for sale. We don't know. Honestly, they're acting like real estate agents that are selling the state of California with Prop 50.
And as Christians, we look at everything from a Christian perspective. We look at everything that happens around us. What does the Bible say? What does the Scripture say about this? And that's why it's important for us as Christians to address these issues. Our program is called The Church Today, and the Church Today is facing many challenges, and some of the challenges that we're facing are because of the policies that the Democrats have endorsed in this nation, and right now they're trying to silence the voters of California through this Proposition 50, and that's why I invited Ms. Sharon again to. If you watched us last week, you saw the beginning of this program, and today we're going to continue that conversation with Ms. Sharon about the silencing of the communities and minorities. And what does the Bible tell us about defending the voices of the least heard? What does Jesus say about the voices of those that are not being heard. They're silencing, so many groups. In the majority of California is being.
Bishop, they're silencing this country that was built on religious freedom, but was also built by people that were very faithful, people who believed in things. I mean, obviously the Constitution was written by mostly Christians, and there's a Judeo-Christian tradition that's part of the United States of America. Our laws go back to, the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. I mean, we all know that everything we live by is based on those stone tablets that Moses brought down from the mountain.
Most of the laws that we have in our country, and I don't mean the Constitution, but most of the laws came from England, and England was a Christian country.
Well, the Magna Carta.
Magna Carta, and
1200.
And so we have a Judeo-Christian heritage in this country that it's being destroyed left and right. And is Proposition 50 facing any legal challenges?
Steve Hilton, who's running for governor, he has filed a lawsuit against Prop 50. The judge, very much manipulated by politics, is not going to give us a hearing until after the election.
Oh, wow.
So, again, gangster.
This is no integrity, no fairness in this process, right?
And again, we're not even talking about just, Christians. We're talking about everybody. Everybody in the United States. I mean, we're still a majority Christian country.
Yes.
But we have people from many, many different walks of life who have from many beliefs who come here expecting that they're going to live in a democracy. Well, Proposition 50 in California strips all the voters in California of any power. It lets the political districts, the congressional districts, our voice in Washington, be only heard through these lobbyists who no doubt hundreds of millions of dollars to pass Prop 50. Who drew these districts? Who drew these congressional districts? We don't even know who drew them. And yet we have an independent redistricting commission, Citizens Commission, that was passed by the voter in 2008 for all the seats. In 2010, we included the congressional seats. So all the voters are supposed to have a representative. They're supposed to have their voices heard by the Citizens Redistricting Commission. Prop 50 did not let the Independent Redistricting Commission draw the districts.
Right.
Imagine, Bishop, it's illegal. I think it'll be thrown out by the courts no matter how the vote goes. But I can't imagine that at the U.S. Supreme Court they will allow this to stand. Because when 2/3 of the voters voted for an independent redistricting commission, where thousands of people can weigh in about the drawing of political districts, and they take that away, and then they go secretly draw new congressional districts to favor certain people, we don't know, lobbyists, no such thing as a free lunch. Whoever gets elected to that office, what are they going to have to pay back to the people who paid for Prop 50? We don't know.
We're going to watch the trailer that was prepared for us today, and I want you to watch this because it's very clear of what they're trying to do, which is very ungodly. There is no God's signature is not on this process. Because it's a very unfair process. So please watch the trailer.
Republicans won 500,000 more votes than the Democrats, but the Democratic Party won 31 more seats.
Too many districts today, people's vote really probably won't make a difference.
There is an image of an American democracy that is open to change. This image is an illusion.
Whoever runs in November is going to win, whether you like them or not.
Consultants work out the districts behind closed doors.
There's certainly better systems than having partisan hacks draw the line and then having those put into law.
You had forced driving from Washington, so the president needs this.
There is no such thing as too partisan. There's only partisan. This is about politics pure. This is about who holds power.
you don't have nobody to represent you, and you don't even know how to represent yourself, they're going to take this.
I really worked this district hard. Gerrymandering is maybe the greatest election scam ever perpetrated on the American people.
In the spring of 2001, he began the process of redrawing his own district, a huge turning point in Obama's political career.
We will keep challenging gerrymandering.
The deck is stacked against us.
Voter discrimination must end.
The myth of democracy is that it's a myth.
America is the ultimate democracy, but you always have to fight for it.
Now, part of the narrative is that this was done in response to what had happened in Texas. Now, this did not happen overnight. This is something that they've been cooking for a very long time. And Ms. Sharon was part of the redistricting committee years and years ago. And so this did not happen because of Trump. This is not something that was brought forth into the open for this time. This is something that it's been going on.
So to pull back the veil, it's 2004, 2005.
Okay.
I join as public policy publicist for a group of Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and we go after trying to get fair districts drawn in California. At the time, Prop 77, which we put on the ballot in 77, and the Democrats spent a lot of money to defeat it. It was defeated because they said, oh, this is nothing but mid-decade redistricting. Well, what is this? It's 2025. Back to 2005, we were defeated by the Democrats screaming, this is mid-decade redistricting. Well, they're doing the exact same thing now. And lift the veil. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was our governor later in 2008 when we passed the Citizens Redistricting Commission, we were able to convince 2/3 of the voters in California to go to a Citizens Redistricting Commission. We made a movie, Gerrymandering the Movie. We took it to the Tribeca Film Festival. We took it to film festivals all over the country. See all those people lining up? You know why they lined up? Because all over America, we've all had it with partisan politics. The people want to see, they want to say so in the redistricting process, in the drawing of political districts. Because if they get to draw the districts, Bishop, then how the voters vote doesn't matter. They've already chosen our candidate, and they've already chosen the lobbyist, and they've already chosen who's gonna run this country. And as far as I'm concerned, Prop 50 is a for sale sign. California for sale. How much money you got? You want to buy the state of California? You got all this beautiful coastline, you got mountains, you've got deserts, incredible natural resources. It's all yours for the taking. Just come help us pass Prop 50.
Now
so
we have people watching us from all over the world, and they're thinking, what is Proposition 50? And they're probably thinking, oh, this is partisan. But the Bible calls us that we should be about righteousness and stewardship before God. And that's the reason that I'm involved, because what is the church? What is the response of the church? How does the church respond to evil and wickedness? And that's what we see in this Proposition 50. We see that it's not proper stewardship before God. When millions and millions of people from California are going to be disenfranchised with their local government. They imported millions and millions of people from all over the world to come and change the number of people for congressional seats. So it just seems to me that everything is moving in one direction, and it's all about control. It's all about power, but it's done in such an evil and wicked way, where as Christians, as people of faith, and I know we have Muslims, I know we have Jews, we have people from other faith traditions that watch our program, And it's not only about Judeo-Christian principles, it's about a human right to be represented by people that we elect, if we truly call it a democracy. And you may see on other networks where they're constantly saying, oh, they're destroying the democracy. No, they're destroying the democracy. We had last Saturday here in Los Angeles and throughout the United States, protest on No King's Day. Well, they're the kings. They're the ones that they're absolutely.
Who's got $100 million to pay for a proposition? You say it's more than $100 million now. Where does that money come from? You think it just falls from the sky? Or do you think the people that brought that money want to own California? And that's what it's all about. It's so personal to me, Bishop, because I worked to try to get this Citizens Redistricting Commission for California so that the people, the voters, would have a choice in how political districts were drawn. And with the independent redistricting that we have, that this would kill, there are 5 Republicans, there are 5 Democrats, and there's 4 independents, because 30% of our state are either independent or other party. 45% Democratic, about 27% Republican, and our seats right now reflect at least Republican Democrats. Independents are still completely left out, which is terrible, which needs to change. But how can you change that when one party with absolutely millions of dollars and from a chest fund from our governor and controlling the real estate? By the way, Bishop, the other thing that they did in California is the legislature passed something called SB 79. SB 79 takes the control of neighborhoods away from all of us and gives it to the legislature, who are bought by the lobbyist, and they will then decide who lives next to you, how big a building it is. The density plans for Los Angeles are incredible. You can't even imagine.
But we also have an infrastructure that is not suitable for all these buildings that they're bringing up.
It's not suitable. We have earthquakes.
No, but also we have no police. We have a fire department that it's been decimated, and our schools are collapsing. So why are they doing all this housing? We don't have the roads full of holes, potholes. We have no water.
Well, they say it's to make housing more affordable, right? And yet there's studio apartments. They're not building, by the way, apartments along the train. They're not building apartments for families. They're studios and 1-bedrooms, most of them. Some of them have 2 bedrooms, but it's mostly studios and 1-bedrooms. So you're not going to have a family of 4 or 5 living in there, right?
In a studio, no.
In a studio, or even in a 1-bedroom, it's going to be crowded. You're in a big building. Those apartments, which are federally subsidized, are renting for $4,000 or $5,000 a month for a studio apartment, because you're next to the train. Who can afford that? People don't make that kind of money. And then migrants who came to the United States, they 20 million through the Biden administration. They were promised everything. They were brought in by the drug cartels. They didn't walk all across the world to come here. It was all set up. They were advertised for, and they were told they were going to be given free health care, free money, free.
Section 8
and yet they get here, and now the politicians are hiding behind them, going, oh, look at the poor migrants. What? You let them come in. You let them be robbed. You let them be raped at the border. You let all kinds of things happen. You let children be taken from their families. You let children be trafficked.
And what we have, thousands and thousands of children from Guatemala who they can't find. And, we were at the at a luncheon when we had the Congress of Guatemala represented there, and they were very concerned. They were here on an official visit trying to look for those children, and yet when ICE goes to the schools, they hide the children. So if you haven't done anything wrong, why are you hiding the children from the
yet they passed a law that says anybody can come in and ask for your child and take them off the school property when they're not even related to you. Were they setting up our public schools so our children can be abducted? We can't even get our heads around it.
No, it's so many layers of this. But my concern and our program today is about Proposition 50 and the fairness and transparency as opposed to secrecy and manipulation on this Proposition 50, because I see a lot of secrecy and manipulation in this proposition.
As I told you last week, the way that they are winning people over to Prop 50 is they're saying, oh, come vote for Prop 50, and you're voting against Donald Trump, and you're voting against ICE. Well, those are very disingenuous arguments, because in 2005, when we started working on independent redistricting, Donald Trump was a TV talk show host in Hollywood. He was not president of the United States. So what does he have to do with Prop 50? The Democrats were trying to grab that power back in 2005 when the man wasn't even president. So that argument is out the window. And then as far as ICE is concerned, and the sanctuary laws, that's for the upper courts. That's constitutional law. Voting for Prop 50 isn't going to protect anyone. They think it's going to, and that's the sad part.
Now, from a Christian perspective, I know that a lot of pastors and bishops and priests and faith leaders watch our program. What is your recommendation to the pastors? Because pastors, this is not about politics. This is not about partisanship. This is about fairness. This is about integrity. This is about transparency. This is about doing what's right. And what we're seeing here is secrecy and manipulation, and the evil and wicked one is behind this. I don't see the signature of the Lord on Proposition 50. I see the signature of Satan on this Proposition 50, because it's trying to take away our voice, it's trying to take away our vote, it's trying to control us and manipulate us. So I'm concerned. As a Christian bishop, as a faith leader for the last 40 years, I see this Proposition 50 as an insult to the injury that we have suffered through the administration of Governor Newsom. He's destroyed the state. I've been showing you videos of how Los Angeles looks like. I've shown you pictures of San Francisco. We talked about the $2.5 billion convention center that we're going on to borrow money to build this convention center, when we have no infrastructure, when we have a lighting problem in the city, where we have
don't have enough fire, don't have enough police,
yes,
can't really take care of the people we have here, and the migrants are just victimized over and over and over again. And then to tell the migrants that came in thinking they're going to have a sanctuary state here in California, or the different so-called sanctuary states, they know that it goes up against federal law, and we are the United States of America. We are 50 sovereign states under one federal roof. Federalism trumps the states. And this happened during this modern civil rights movement. How do you think the Kennedys came down and helped integrate the schools when Martin Luther King Jr. Was out in Alabama and Georgia and Boston? I mean, I'm not just going to blame it on the South. It was all over the country where they wanted our schools separate. They wanted people separate.
What would you tell the pastors, our faith leaders, that they need to do with their congregations? Because I know that a lot of people will go to church, and I know there's a lot of faith leaders, a lot of pastors, a lot of priests, a lot of people in the faith community that watch our program. What would you suggest to them that they need to, because this conversation needs to happen at every church, at every parish, at every temple. What is your suggestion?
Well, the Prop 50 strips us of our voice. It strips us of our power. Whether you're a Christian or whatever you are. Whatever you believe in. Giving all the power to draw political districts to a junta, to an oligarchy, to the wealthiest billionaires on the planet. Who else has hundreds of millions of dollars to pay for a proposition? And why are they doing that? They're not doing it to protect migrants. They're not doing it to protect the weak. We need to keep our voice. We need to let them say no. We have an independent redistricting commission in California. Other states, we're the envy of other states. When I took Gerrymandering the Movie to other states, to those film festivals, they envied us. Oh, look what you're doing in California. You're fighting for the people. You're fighting for the people to have a voice. We passed this redistricting commission. You saw 30,000 people telling the commission how they want the districts drawn, and so it's going to be taken away from your congregations to the pastor. That power is going to be taken away and given it to an oligarchy.
So thank you so much for watching our program, Church Today and Proposition 50. And pastors, this is about defending justice. It's about protecting truth. It's about trusting God, that God has brought us for such a time as this. This situation is a situation where we need to come out. And I urge you to come out and vote. A lot of people who go to church, who go to temple, who attend services at different parishes, don't like to go and vote. I urge you to go out and vote no on Proposition 50. This is about protecting our voice. And if you don't go and vote, you're telling the people who are promoting this lie that they're right and we are wrong. So I call on you to stand up and fight this battle over truth, over lies. This is Bishop J.C. Mendez, and I've been here with Ms. Sharon Jimenez, who has been very active in the community for many, many years. And she's also helping us with Churches in Action. And we have a lot of activities going on. And in future programs, we'll be talking about the different activities that Churches in Action will be having in the coming weeks. So this is Bishop J.C. Mendez and Ms. Sharon Jimenez talking to you from Los Angeles. May the Lord bless you richly and abundantly, above and beyond all that you can think or ask. If you have a need for prayer, please call us and let us know how we can help you in your journey of faith. God bless you. Take care now. Bye-bye.